At it again, and let me tell y'all something. I came across a glorious video. Man, oh man, is it good to see Sanity is back in the building. Common sense is making a return, and we got to keep the train rolling. But before we get into these clips here, make sure you guys hit that like button. Really helps the channel out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you are not subscribed to the channel already, what are you waiting on? Hit the subscribe button and join the family. Join the family, all right? And make sure you guys are also following me on social media. All of those links are down below in the description box. Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, Discord server. All of that good stuff is down below. And with that being said, let's dive in.
The Swedish government, now let's move to Sweden, where the Swedish government, fantastic news, they basically threw out all the mad greenies, and you now have the Swedish government saying we're going to go back to nuclear, we're going to go back to coal, we're getting rid of net zero. They're completely overturning everything to do with the net zero climate. But it's not just because they're going, and they know in Sweden how cold it can get in winter, and they know in Sweden that you got to have your heating, and you got to have your eating, and you got to have your cooking.
But
so the reason why the government changed in Sweden, though, it's important to note, is because the crime issue got so out of control, and a lot of that was tied to their very generous open borders policy, shall we say. Everybody got sick of the fact that there were bombings and shootings and grenades being thrown around the capital and the suburbs at all hours that they weren't.
Maybe things didn't get quite that crazy, but doesn't that sound familiar? Crime getting out of control, open borders. It's kind of funny how all of these same policies that a lot of people here in America hate are being pushed out everywhere onto the world. I wonder if there's an organization that is behind all of this. Let Sanity back in the building, baby. I love it.
Allowed to talk about it, just like with COVID. But, you know, next door in Finland, the Greens party there has said nuclear is perfectly fine. You know, so we have here in Australia a Labour Party that is on energy to the left of the Finnish Greens and Greta Thunberg. Think about that.
But Sweden, as left and as green as it has been in recent years, had an enormous reliance on nuclear through all that time. So it wasn't like they were anti-nuclear and just completely sabotaging their own energy security. But now with a centre-right coalition, I tell you, Italy didn't surprise me. A lot of these changes in government hasn't surprised me, but Sweden did. I've got a lot of family in Sweden. I've been there a number of times, and my God, it has been a far-left utopia for a long time. But you can only deny reality for so long, and when these policies are in full effect and people's living standards are being impacted, you've got crime, particularly in a country that had a very low crime rate for a long time and now has this explosion of violent crime. And you speak to people, and that people who would have never, ever thought about voting for the centre-right options are now saying, I'm backing them.
Yeah, and this is what happens. Change. And yet in Australia, we refuse to pay any attention. We refuse to learn. UK citizens, according to a report in The Australian this week, are going to, they can't keep warm. There's no surprises there. I've lived in England. It's bloody freezing at the best of times during winter, and if you don't have full heating all winter round, 24 hours a day, you are in real strife in that country, and they are going to struggle. Yet, of course, we had Volkswagen protesters at a factory.
I love this.
This is a great story. They went in, they glued themselves to the factory floor of the VW plant there to protest, climate change. And the people running the factory said, that's great, they can stay. Let's switch the lights off, let's switch the heating off, leave them to it. And
love it.
No urinals. Did I say that word?
I don't want to say that word on a Sunday morning.
You won't be having a bowl that we're going to provide for you to...
No bedpans.
No, sorry.
But
and that's absolutely crazy. Those protesters were angry because they didn't have anywhere to use the bathroom. They were legitimately angry that they weren't provided buckets. Oh yeah, I'm going to provide you with something that makes your stay here even more comfortable, even though you're a nuisance right now. We literally just checked out a video of a bunch of these different protests around the world, and the lady that came on Joe Rogan, I forgot what her name was, but she offered up a great solution. Instead of annoying people by going to grocery stores and pouring out gallons of milk or throwing soup on paintings and gluing yourself to a wall, why don't you actually go do some cleanup, right? If you're concerned about climate change, go try to help the climate, all right? Go try to help the planet. Go take some pictures of turtles with, I don't know, plastic around their neck or something, you know? Maybe you'll garner more attraction that way. By doing stupid stuff like this, you just annoy people. Like, you're just causing a nuisance at this point.
It's so funny because it's like finally,
they're living the dream. They're living the
but you know what,
dream.
Rowan, as with you know the netball situation in Gina Reinhart, you know, finally we're seeing actions, and stupid actions have consequences. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and you can stay stuck all night to the floor of an auto dealership without a literal pot to you know what in. But it's so funny because, you know, like, why is it we have all these double standards for protesters? You know, you can throw a can of soup on a Van Gogh and you're a hero, but if you pray within 100 feet of an abortion clinic, you're you know, condemned.
The FBI will raid your house.
The FBI will raid your house. It's insane.
Well, it gets worse. The mob who threw the can of soup on the painting, Just Stop Oil, they are called. They now actually genuinely do have blood on their hands. A woman died because of these protesters. There was a car crash. They blocked the tunnel or whatever it was, and she couldn't get through and died. This happened before in Britain with Extinction Rebellion. These protests, they're funny, we laugh at them, but people actually die.
And I can tell you, if it was, say, an anti-lockdown protest that led to an ambulance not being able to get to where it wanted, for example, or someone being able to get medical, there'd probably be talk about charges and, you know, is this domestic terrorism? And it'll be all sorts of repercussions. But these crazy climate activists get a free pass.
And why is it that, you know...
That is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusing. I don't even have any words for that. I mean, any more words for that. That's just... There is something that I want to say, but I'm afraid I'll be accused of, you know, the wrong thing at this point, even though they actually forget about it. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But I am so happy to see that these woke policies people are starting to wake up to, right? Wake up to the BS. We aren't doing it anymore. And not only Sweden, but more recently, Italy elected a lady by the name of Giorgia Meloni. Take a look at her speech. Check it out.
Potrei farne tante altre di queste domande. A monte c'è quella che ci facciamo oggi: perché la famiglia è un nemico? Perché la famiglia fa così paura? C'è una risposta unica per tutte queste domande. Perché ci definisce, perché è la nostra identità. Perché tutto quello che ci definisce in questo tempo è un nemico, per chi vorrebbe che non avessimo più un'identità e che fossimo solamente schiavi, consumatori perfetti. E allora è sotto attacco l'identità nazionale, è sotto attacco l'identità religiosa, è sotto attacco l'identità di genere, è sotto attacco l'identità familiare. Non devo potermi definire italiana, cristiana, donna, madre, no. Io devo essere cittadino X, genere X, genitore 1, genitore 2, devo essere un numero. Perché quando sarò solamente un numero, quando non avrò più un'identità, quando non avrò più radici, beh, allora sarò lo schiavo perfetto in balia della grande speculazione finanziaria, il consumatore perfetto.
That's who Italy more recently elected to be the leader of their country. And of course, you know, mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, you know, they came out with, far-right extremists. Oh my goodness, far-right extremists. Italy elects its first far-right extremist since, I forgot the guy's name, but it was like, wasn't it like 1940s or something? It was a long time ago. Forgive me if I got the dates incorrect. I mean, it was a while ago. Far-right extremists. Oh, we should be fearful of this. And remember what I told y'all. When the mainstream media or when the machine attacks someone, that is often somebody you should look more into. That's somebody you should look into a lot more, because the machine is afraid of them, because they're standing over the truth or they're speaking the truth. right? That's one thing that I've learned throughout this journey. You see it time and time again, and there's another example. She was speaking truth. I didn't hear anything hateful in that speech right there. I heard what I would consider the truth. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. But I love to hear it in Sweden, man, saying no to these far left policies. America seems to be saying no to these far left policies. Crime is getting out of control, just like in Sweden, where they were just talking about and people were tired of it. Right? We have a place like New York, possibly about to elect Lee Zeldin as their governor. Yeah. And we know how far left New York is, like seriously far left. Even if he's not elected, the fact that it was even a debate, the fact that it was even like up for grabs, like there was even a question, is astonishing in and of itself. Now, obviously, California won't be close. We still got some work to do out in California. I don't know what they got going on over that way. I don't know how they live in that mess. But yeah, I mean, you see all of these races. Kemp pulling away from Abrams in Georgia. Herschel Walker actually, in the last poll that I just saw, taking a lead on Warnock. A lead. It's basically neck and neck with Fetterman. I mean, just across the board. Florida becoming a Republican stronghold. Arizona, Kerry Lake pulling away. Blake Masters pulling even. Yeah. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and you get the boot. You get the boot. I am so happy to see that common sense has re-entered the building. And hopefully this time it is here to stay. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.